Welcome everyone to a new show called Fridays at 4 on twitch.tv/DDO stream. It was Wednesday at noon, now it's Friday at 4 p.m. New show, new title. Would it make much sense to call it the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream, since it's neither Wednesday nor lunch? But it's the same me, same show. Basic idea of a little bit of news, a little bit of gaming, a little bit of hangout and chat. Some shows are going to be bigger than others. We'll have guests. I would expect to see Severlin, Tolero, perhaps some others join us here in the near future. We do have plenty of news that we'll be able to talk about, but not a whole lot that we can talk about today. For those who are kind of keeping track of things, we got back from our holiday break this week. And so most of the week was spent getting back up to speed and cooking along on everything that we're working on towards Update 58, which we expect you will see on Lamania in a couple of weeks. It won't be next week. Maybe the week after that we'll have our first Lamania. We'll have to see how all the cards fall on that. But something like that, and that should be your first look at Update 58. We do have a producer's letter that is in the early stages of being worked on. I would expect that perhaps a little closer into February or maybe even into February in terms of publication. It does take a little while on that. But we're going to have more information about what's happening before then. I would expect even perhaps next week's show to have a guest, although I haven't asked them yet, so I probably shouldn't commit them today. But everyone knows that we want to sit down and have a little start of the year Q&A with you in chat, so we'll be doing that in the coming weeks, I would expect. This is the final weekend of Festival, so if you have any coins to turn in, maybe now's a good time to do that. I don't know if I do or not. I haven't actually looked on these characters very much. Did I pick up any on stream? I don't know if I did or not. Let me double check quick. If I did, maybe I'll turn them in on stream. I don't think I did, unfortunately. Oh well, maybe a different show. We'll do that one. But regardless, this is the final weekend of Festival. The coins will appear through the weekend, and then the Jester will stick around for 1 week beyond that. So the Jester will be around through the 15th, but coins are through the 8th, which is Sunday. So on Monday morning Eastern time, they should turn off. I don't think, a lot of other information for the show here today. I could talk a little bit, maybe, about Update 58. It's going to have some free stuff in it. It's going to come out a little closer to our anniversary. We do have, I know of, a free dungeon that'll be in the works for it, and we'll have more information about that in the near future. And then we also have some cool systems things, and I don't want to drop the name of the big piece yet, not until maybe next week, so I can't really say more than that. But Update 58 is going to be an update that'll be released in time for our anniversary, and it's going to have a bunch of stuff that you might expect, including an update to the anniversary event itself. Otherwise, our next update is going to be later this month. We have got the Snow Peaks Festival kicking off on the 25th, and the week prior to that, we have tentatively scheduled an Update 57 Patch 2. That includes some of the stuff for Snow Peaks, but it will also have just some kind of odds and ends and things that can't wait until Update 58. And so that'll be within the next couple of weeks as well. And then, we will have our first look at one of the big features of Update 58 that I'm not saying today, probably within a couple weeks for Lamania. And then we'll have at least a couple of Lamanias before it goes live. Quick note as well that the Hardcore Season 7 does continue through February 6th, so, it seems like it arrives and goes kind of quickly. We're about halfway through the season, are we not? And so good luck to everyone who's been doing that. Yeah, I can talk a little bit about gold rolls in just a second. Let me see what else we got. I don't want to get too much into what is new in Snow Peaks. We'll probably save the surprise on that. But yeah, there's a little bit of new stuff coming. All right, let's do that. So Earlier, for the 16th anniversary last year, we did a promotional period where we offered VIP daily gold rolls through 2022, and in that offer it said through December 31st, 2022. And so, when we did our patch this week, since that promotional period ended, we did end the daily gold rolls. And, we've heard your feedback that you very much enjoyed that promotion and would like us to bring it back in the future. And we'll have more information about anything we might do there in the future. I have nothing to announce today. But, I know that some players have really appreciated it, and they are saying that, hey, bring it back. I want to stay VIP, and in order to do that, I want my daily gold rolls. We've heard you, and we'll see what we can do to continue to provide value to the VIP program in the future. We have some thoughts that we've been taking a look at, and when we're in a position to say more about it, we will. But in terms of the promotion, sorry if it caught you by surprise. It was pretty upfront. It was in the messaging for it all that it was through December 31st, and once that promotional period ended, the promotional benefit ended as well. So, all right. I would not expect Axel, and also welcome. Nice to see you here. I wouldn't actually expect to see a hard course in Snow Peaks. Maybe at some point once we've done some easy ones. But the idea of Snow Peaks is to be a pretty casual event. Really, I don't think the intention is to be super tough. The one that came out last time was kind of intended to be super tough, and it was for a little bit until people figured it out. And then once you got it figured out, it became quite a bit easier to do. But we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening with Snow Peaks here in the future. So the VIP program will, retain all the benefits that it's had. And, I would assume in the future perhaps we may do other promotions and things like that for it. So when we're in a position to say more about that, we will. Yeah, I like the challenging course too. It was, though, challenging really for just the first couple of times, and then once you kind of got your pattern down, it wasn't that much. And there was a certain time to coin ratio that played into it, but I enjoyed it quite a bit as well. I'm actually very much looking forward to running it again here in a few weeks. So, yes, that Immortal Sun Flask, huh? That's some good stuff. All right. I don't know that I have much more news today, so let me swap on over to my game screen here, and we're really just truly left off where we ended the year last year. I've run these quests a little bit more just to get more familiar with them, but that's where we are. I don't actually know what I want to run today. I have to admit, when I push came to shove, I was like, well, I'll just keep running the quests. And now that I'm sitting here, I'm like, do I really want to do that? Maybe it's time to make a change and swap over to a different character or what have you. I've been playing this one for a little bit. So maybe next time I do a game segment, we'll be on a different server doing a different thing. So while I'm here, let me kind of show you where we ended off on this character here. I did pick this up, and that is pretty cool. This character right now is not a bastard sword user, but I'm certainly going to stick it in my bank because I love my bastard swords in DDO. So having the Legendary 13 is going to be real nice. It really just has damage style bypass, but then look at all those augment slots from which to fill. I don't know that it's going to replace necessarily whatever else I might get, but it might. I'm going to have to take a look at that and see. I don't personally use the hand wraps much, but actually at all, really. But I did get the bladed hand wraps as well. I thought that was pretty cool. It's a pretty good item. Yeah, it's just sort of a random property sort, isn't it? But that's where we are. So on gear, I really do need more. This is just my wisdom item. Help me out with a little bit of spot. And then at the moment, I have an open helm slot. This is where I'm just right now getting my charisma for what I've been turning undead and such. Not so much in this quest, but elsewhere. I'm still wearing the Cardin's Eye just for that heightened awareness. I've got the legendary Sacrarium cloak. And I like that mostly for the displacement and the potencies. I also do have my Festive Con 2 and Festive Wisdom 2 in there as well. This is just getting me natural armor and death block at the moment. That needs to be replaced. This is my Con 14 item. I've got the legendary Birchlore gauntlets in my hand slot. That's for the healing. Fatality doesn't hurt either. The legendary magma waders on my feet, just because I want the speed bonus. So as you can see, I've got quite a bit of gear that I can basic strength. Actually, I've got Con 14 there, so I've got an open ring slot now too. And I'm just wearing random gen armor at the moment. So the thing I really need to work on this character then is gear. And hopefully when next we meet, I will have that. But remember, Orion isn't a server I built up a lot of stuff on. So unlike when I go over to Thelanis or Solona, I don't really have much in the way of gear. And that's what I've been able to put together basically just live on stream here as we've been playing, plus a bit. So that's where I'm currently sitting. I bet I actually could. I'm going to do it off stream, but I actually bet I have a little more in my bank than this. So I bet I could certainly replace some of those dead items as they were when it comes down to it. Yes, I would expect to hear more about, future destinies and core work and things like that as well in upcoming releases. I don't know that it's going to be in Update 58. I think not, just due to what else I know is in Update 58. But pretty good chance that that we'll have more to say about that in the future. I'm actually pretty, I thought I had a little bit better gear than that. At least I've got Con 14 twice. But I guess we know what to keep an eye out for. Even for random gen stuff might be better, right? Giving myself the standard buffs that I like to give myself. I don't think I actually need True Seeing. I think I'm getting it elsewhere, but nope, guess not. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, that's a good question about the weekend bonus. I don't know. It was really just sort of force of habit that ended up getting released a day early because we largely could. There was nothing stopping us, and we were streaming after all on Wednesdays, so why not? But that's a good point. I guess it is going to mean that people are going to have to not so much get it early. I don't think I'm in a position always to be able to tell you what next week's bonus is going to be until afterwards. And sometimes we wouldn't want to announce that a weekend prior. So I don't think I'll be including the bonuses on the Fridays at 4 here. This weekend, though, is a 30% crafting XP boost, which I know is not particularly valuable to some folks, but is for others. So perhaps that is you. See what kind of difference that makes. Nothing. Alright. Well, this'll work. That Divine Wrath is one of my most pressed buttons. Thing is very nice. So, I don't know. It's been a couple of weeks since we last chatted. What's going on with everyone? What are you up to? Did you, anything cool in regard to the holidays, perhaps? I myself picked up a resin 3D printer. So that's pretty exciting. For me. Of course, I'm using it to print minis. I haven't really printed any yet, though. And the reason for that is because I need to learn how to actually use the thing first. The stuff is not as sort of it's not plug and play. It's a process. You need to learn the process if you want to 3D print resin material. And be careful and safe about it and all that sort of thing. Which I do. But I'm at the point that I think in the next week I'm actually going to try printing some real minis. And see how it goes. I'm almost done with my test prints. I will be after this weekend. It's been pretty cool. I bet some of you are out there who are like, $180 on Amazon, huh? Or something like that. And, thinking of all the minis you could print. That's me. Right now. Not that I'm ever going to paint them or anything. I mean, let's be real. But I will actually probably paint these now. We'll see. Either way, it's going to be fun. Yeah, I'm learning all about the propellers and fins and rafts and all sorts of things that are like, what? I have no idea what you're talking about. Now I do, somewhat. I don't know about a nightmare horse mount, but I have in fact actually heard a few things about what we might be able to do in the future related to things that you could run around the game in. And it was all pretty good. So I would expect to see something there. For sure. Yeah. What else? Did I? Don't think so. Hey, you. Get back here. Iconic completionist when? I have not heard of anything about that. You really want an iconic completionist to work toward? Alright. A purple nightmare? Yeah, that would be good. That would be real cool. I could see that. That'd be fun. You want... Okay, I see. So I would expect in the coming weeks to have probably either Sev or Tolero join me on the show, and we'll do more of a general Q&A, and that I don't want to drop hints about things that aren't maybe ready to be talked about on the show today. But we're almost there, and I know that there's a demand for some information because we've been stingy with it in recent weeks. But we're working on it, and we are almost ready to provide a lot more information about what we're working on and what we'll be doing, what you'll be seeing here in the coming months. So it should be very cool. Nope, I keep forgetting I need to go this way for that. Hireling folders. Do we put hireling folders on sale with our typical hireling sales? I can't remember if we do or not. I thought we did, didn't we? I wouldn't say hirelings are in a particularly worse state at the moment than usual. Perhaps you know something I do not, but I wouldn't say that. I've been using them just fine. Their limitations are just what they've always been, in my experience. Perhaps I'm wrong. Oh, well, in terms of how they operate underwater, that wouldn't surprise me because hirelings don't really understand water because it's a sort of a weird way it exists. I don't think they actually really have much of an ability to recognize. Oops. Sort of the existence of water. Like, what is water? I know they can't, open chests underwater in general. Although in the past they've been able to do some fairly decent things in terms of interactability if you could get them positioned right. I haven't really tried in a while, so I couldn't speak to how it is at the moment. Good enough for now. Yeah, yeah, that particular chest I'm aware of. That I'll have to follow up on that. Oh, I almost fell into it again. I mentioned this, I guess, on the other show, but I do have some lights, some like streamer style lights that I use for the show, and oops. It does impact my visibility in terms of what I can actually see on the monitor. Sometimes when it's all particularly dark, I'm like, what? Oh, I remember this from last time. What did I do wrong? I have to do it again. What's that? Yeah. Yeah, well, to be honest, I've got a cheap monitor, and my monitor is as bright as it'll get, which is basically bright enough, but could be better. I'm just quick looking at chat. More options for cosmetic hand wraps. I'm trying to read from your chat. We don't have any cosmetic hand wraps, right? It's because they don't. I mean, they are weapons, right? So I suppose theoretically you could find some kind of display that would cover the hands in a way that makes some sense, but not real easily. Oh yeah, you could. Okay, there we go. So Titan, I would think that would be working as intended. That because the Black Abbot is a raid boss, uh, an augment that would provide immunity to typical petrification might be bypassed by the Black Abbot being the Black Abbot. However, if the ultimatum augment granting immunity to petrification is not functioning outside of maybe raid boss special attacks, then, that would be a bug. You can make one from Sharn, okay. Well, that's cool. I mean, but that's recent enough that means that perhaps we could do something like that again in the future. So maybe we could. I think the way that Avatar hands work probably makes it somewhat difficult to find like a cosmetic item look that's really going to fit for everything, and you wouldn't want. I don't know. Maybe there are ways around it. I guess I'm not really informed enough to speak about it. But that's cool. So I actually need. I'm not doing anything with my necklace slot now, so that's going to be at least better, right? I don't get my charisma, but as we just determined, that's not helping me any. All right. Should I do this one again? I will do this one again. This time, though, I'm not going to listen to chat. I'm not going to try to do the skill-based ones, because I don't have the skills. We know this. Yeah, so, okay, cool. So it's like a colored glow, which would make sense that you would be able to do that successfully. So that's cool. So, I mean, it could be. I guess I'm curious to know a little bit more about what you mean about hirelings being commanded. It could be that there is a bug there if we've got an issue with. Yeah, it sounds like something that could be a thing to look into. Whether maybe a monster cast command might be having some kind of impact on the ability of hirelings to reset their responses or whatever. I haven't seen that though myself. Maybe we'll see it on stream at some point. And of course, hirelings are going to get messed up through these doors too. They just like, right, there's a thing there. I need to attack the thing. Ah, that's interesting. Yes, it would not surprise me if perhaps hirelings were also stealing some old Epic Destiny benefits, and perhaps if those Epic Destiny benefits no longer existed because they were replaced. It's interesting. Sounds like you're on it with the bug report. Make sure they've got one in. And easy to reproduce with an old Magister Destiny? Cool. Well, then it sounds like people are on it. Sounds like you know more than I do. Oh yeah, I remember this doggy here. And it's back here, right? Yep. That would make sense though if if as you describe, a hireling were to get hit by something and not be able to do anything. What's it going to know to do? As you can see, I mostly use Froggo, and Froggo seems to still get the job done. Few more pieces of evidence yet to collect. What do we think then? Nope. All right, so we need to go up and around. Which one was that? How do I get back there? That's that. Oh, I don't think I read that security notice either. Yeah, remember, opposites attract. There we go. Oh, there's one, right? So then I can just get the other one from, like, upstairs. Or not. Alright. Then... I thought it was over this way. Am I wrong? Yes, you are wrong. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. I'm trying to figure out my... Remind myself how I get around here. I think it's through... Must be this way. Yes. We are actually getting hit with a little bit of a sleet storm outside at the moment. I'm glad my internet is hanging in there okay. Frogo is the Hireling MVP. I will agree with that. My build is really just my own. I don't tend to play by builds that much, but I can say in general I am a Dark Apostate Tabaxi Cleric. And in terms of my enhancement tree, you can see it's mixed into Dark Apostate with some War Priest. Yeah, I just specifically have this little one as well because that's nice. And then for my Epic Destinies, I am mostly an Unyielding Sentinel, and then Fury of the Wild as well. And it's just sort of my own kind of hybrid build. Hey, there's a couple of coins. Yeah, I like all the permanent hirelings. They're pretty useful. But at the moment, if I just am doing one, it's probably Frogo. I will need to think about your question. Let me think here. I am not aware of much in the way of monk-specific work that I can think of right now. We have other stuff that we are working on. All right. I mean, it sounds like we do have some work to do on hirelings. I assume the team is more aware of it than I am, based on the common knowledge in the chat here. All right, we have got enough to go to court, so maybe we should do that. Elevator. There we are. Let's just do corruption. I mean, I think there's a general awareness that, the game does reach a certain point where hirelings essentially are not able to keep up with the demands being put upon them. Like, you're not going to take a hireling into Reaper 10 and expect it to be competitive, right? To take an extreme example. We are definitely continuing to look at ways to improve game performance. Someone's asking a question about lag work. Um, we have had engineers really throughout 2022 um, releasing various improvements to the game environment, some of which were more visible than others. And I would expect to see us continue to do that. Short term, one of the highest priorities we have is. Let me get this going. One of the highest priorities we have is to work on these transfer issues. That is something that we absolutely know. It's been a very frustrating process to try to diagnose. And we're still doing a lot of the diagnostic work. I've been getting some questions about, hey, when are we going to be able to transfer for free to Orient or Serlona? And I simply don't have an answer yet because it won't be until after this issue gets resolved. And the issue is not resolved. So, a little hard to tell at the moment. But we do have people working on it. And so hopefully we'll see some momentum on that in the near future. It was strange, though, that I can't remember if it was, I think it was Serlona, right? Where just mysteriously over the holidays, it began working again in terms of transfers. And I don't actually know what the current state of it is. But that isn't us doing anything. And so we wouldn't want to declare an all clear if we don't even have the problem solved yet, right? So. It's dance 2 on blue, dance on red is what's going on. And I've just got, using enter and then the up and down arrows to repeat my commands. Well, I'm not gonna. Prepare to be destroyed. Alright, kneel on yellow. I would expect to hear a lot more about Update 58 and beyond in the coming weeks, as we have some guests to do general Q&A, and as we get the producer's letter out. We're also going to be having a Lamania preview for Update 58 in the not too distant future. And so, we'll have a lot more to say about that soon. This week, though, we're largely doing two things, which was we got back to the office, we're wrapping up Festival, and we're hard at work on both Update 57.2, which is a patch that we expect to be releasing later this month, in addition to the work throughout the rest of the year, which, now that we're actually into 2023, includes a bunch of, okay, now it's time to do it. And work on that is also underway. So it has been underway really in December as well, for the most part. But there were other priorities than the holiday break. So we're back and we're into 2023 and just about ready to open the door to public information about what is Update 58, what's going to be in it, and when's it coming out. I can tell you a little bit more about when's it coming out. That'll be closer to our anniversary in February. Can't say much more about what's in it, though. Not yet, but very soon. Next week, if I can manage it. And I think I'll be able to. We'll see. Go. Go. It's going to be cosmetic bags? What do you mean? I don't understand. Sorry. The idea of having more backpacks would be kind of cool, but I don't know. All right. That's true. Frogo should have been fighting there and was not. Good point. Good catch. I often get asked, what is the things from the other game that we most wish we could bring into this game? And for me, the one feature I'd love to see from The Lord of the Rings Online in DDO, although I understand technically why it can't be done, having to do with the version of the game engine, is I would like to see Lotro's cosmetic system. I think it's great. And it works really well. Oh, bags for the horses. Okay, yeah, that would just be art. We could totally do that. I think we're a little more ambitious than that, though. I'm heading over quick to the Jester. I am. Oh, I can't see very well in the dark here. I haven't ever tried to do this on a mount. I bet that would be kind of bad. I should probably dismount. Oh no, I just fell off, didn't I? Nope. Now I did, though. Oops. What am I doing wrong? Let's do it from over here. You know what I miss most on this character is not having a flight skill. I would like to have a kind of a flight skill back. That would be very useful for me. Oh, here we go. There we are. I cannot see in this monitor. All right. I figured for the last couple minutes of the show. Oh, cool! I do have some coins, so let's see what I get. Let me. Well, just see what I get. Warforged Titan. 20 Sun Flasks. Syriana Jelly Cake. Irian Jelly Cake. Sulabades. Key 3. Serrania. Shavroth. 20 Sun Flasks. Wow, I've got a whole bunch. Well, let me just do this then. I thought I had some. I just wasn't seeing it in my inventory. That's going to be one overflowing backpack, isn't it? That's cool, though. I suppose I should have gotten one of those jugs. Here's Moss Silver. I got a Black Abbot cookie, Beholder cookie, and Green Abishai. Oh, I see. It's doing it in one now. That's kind of nice. Lord of Blades, Green Abishai, Dalcor, Red Abishai. And how am I on gold? Zizzy, Kobold, and Kobold. That's what I got. And of course, it's all in my overflow, so I'll have to deal with that in a bit. But that'll be that, I guess, for Fridays at 4 here, for this first inaugural week of the show. Oh, broke the enhancements you got from combining the Abishai cookies. Although the verbiage is still there, nothing happens when you have more than one. Okay. Well, we'll have to bug that and get that one fixed for the next time. Yeah, I would just real quick, Dre. I would imagine at some point, we would intend to update our own architecture to be fully 64-bit on the Didio side, but I don't really have anything to say about that. It's just a project that's going to need to get done here at some point in the future. All right, that is going to wrap it up then. So thanks everyone for being here, and I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.